Hey YouTube, it's Matt with Olympus Reptiles, and today I'm going to be working on one of my very favorite snakes. Every now and then you kind of got to go through your display cages. It's time for a cleaning. This one, obviously, it's shed all over. It's pooped in a few places. It's just due, and this is my boy Reaper. So let me tell you a little bit about Reaper before we go ahead and try to get him out, because it's really hard to work a rattlesnake and talk. And just for a few things, in case you're wondering if I'm working by myself today and being an idiot, no, I actually have help. I mean, remember, the camera's on a tripod, so Kurt could jump in and help me if he wanted to. And that guy literally catches rattlesnakes with his teeth. It's amazing. Ask him to do it sometime at a bar. He'll show you how. I've also got Redneck Jeff here working with me. He's got a lot of venomous experience. He's helped me several times. And Michaela, who is now working at our shop, is behind, kind of wanting to see how Jeff and I do this together sometimes. If that doesn't sound like a little bit of voyeurism, I don't know what does. But let's get on to the snake. So Reaper is a wild-caught timber rattlesnake. He came out of Oklahoma. A couple things about him. He was the first venomous snake I ever owned. He is really cool. He's just your basic timber rattlesnake. The thing with him is, and why I wanted him, is he's a very iconic snake. The timber rattlesnake has been featured on flags in America forever. Was featured in writings by Ben Franklin. It's just an awesome animal. So it was really the top echelon when I was going to get my first rattlesnake. I wanted something like a timber. It was going to be a timber or a prairie, and I much preferred the timber. So anyway, I was a little still nervous about the Western. I really don't know why. Now I've got a bunch of them, which you'll see here in a little while. With him, we got him in 2015, so we've had him now a little over 6 years. He was not a newborn when we got him, so he's probably 8 to 10 years old, if I had to take a guess, and doing really well. You'll notice his rattle sound here in a few minutes. I'll pay close attention, and I'll explain why. With him as well, he is a male. That's very important. If you're going to ever have a timber that comes from the wild, I strongly urge you to only take a male. If it's a female, kick it back free. These things breed extremely slow. They have been nearly wiped off of the map in several places. Not where this came from. Still a strong population there. Part of that is the about 2 to 3 years breeding cycle, and also a smaller set of eggs. Well, not eggs, babies. These are live birth. I'm just used to saying eggs. It's ball python season, y'all. So with that, they don't reproduce as fast as, say, a Western, meaning the population can be decimated. So taking a male out doesn't really hurt it. Taking a female out does. So with him in his hide, we're going to have to flip that up first thing. And you'll see he's a good sized timber. And right now, you can hear that sound I'm talking about. That's probably the most pathetic rattle sound for a snake this size I've ever heard. But the truth of the matter is, he broke his rattle. I don't know where it is. I'm hoping to find it in there. We give him a lot of stuff to hide behind, play on, a rock to heat on with the heat element right above it. That's because that helps simulate what he would do in nature. And so he does have an opportunity to bang it around and break it, which he found a way to do. Now sometimes he's going to crawl over where I don't want him to be, like that. So we're going to work him here. He's going to come right out to me, buddy. Come on. This will work. Here, you want to go right in here? Here. He's going to do it, or do you need a little help? You need a little help. So this is not the ideal place for me to grab him over the head. I'd rather him be running away from me, like he's about to do. Meaning I can usually get a hold of the tail, just like that. And as you can see how strong he is, we're not going to force him. Now you see his head coming back there. It's time to let go, right? We don't want him turning around on me, because he does not like this. And sometimes we have to clear the stuff out of his cage. Come on, buddy. He's going to relax that way. Yeah, Jeff, if you want to put a hook on that body too, we'll just double hook lift him. Perfect. So sometimes you can just hook him down in there. All right, guys, I'm going to close this up. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to clean the cage. When we come back to put him in, you'll see it's all nice and clean. We'll tell you what we did, let you know if we found the rattle, and then I will take him out, put him in my hand, let him have a look around and let you see him. So we are back, guys. The cage is all clean. We did not find the broken rattle, but if you watched a video recently, a guy by the name of, I don't know if you've heard of him, I know he's kind of new to the scene, in venomous stuff and in just in snakes. His name's Tom Crutchfield. Now, if you think Tom Crutchfield's new to the scene, you need to go study, because Tom's a legend. Tom recently posted a video, and one of the things that he talked about, if you're going to keep venomous, is how to work them. And we're not all going to do it the exact same, but Tom's got some really solid advice. One of them is you never open the cage. You always use a tool. If you saw, you can slide with a tool. Now, when you have a cage like this, it's really easy because you can grab it. I can grab here, I can do that sort of thing. But you always want to keep your hands safe. You don't want to have that threshold crossed. He also talked about removing the stake to service the cage. As you can see here, that's what we did. This snake is especially true with. It's not a huge cage. On a 6-foot cage, Can I maybe grab some squid? Maybe. Taking a little bit of a risk, yes. Here, there's not a spot in this cage that that snake can't touch me faster than I can react. So if you got major service to do, you're going to have to be in the cage, snake comes out. Now, if I'm going to use like a big old long pooper scooper and just go, whoop, okay, I can do that. But otherwise, it comes out. Now, when I put these guys back in a glass front cage, because we're not working tubs with these, I like the display cage, I like to see them. One thing I like to do is I don't have my cage all the way open. I usually have just a part open, because I find once I get the snake going in there, it's released me then to close it. Monotone, he can't come back as easy. It's a matter of that. And then too, I got Jeff on the other side to push it close if I need. So, we put our snake in this trash can. A couple things with trash cans. I started using trash cans when I had to work cobras. I'm not a big cobra guy. I did have one for a little while at the shop. It was an inherited thing, not my favorite thing. I found trash cans with cobras were my best friend. I liked it so much I started incorporating my pit vipers. Why? Well, because when I open, I have a shield. That's kind of nice. They're not biting through it, and it seals down. So what we'll do is simply pop the holder. You pop. Come on, there it is. I'm not opening it, so my hands are still protected. I will not open this with my hands hanging over the lip. Bad juju. This is also a good time. If you can grab it here, you can open it like that without your hands coming over. If you're not too comfortable with that, hey, guess what? It's popped open. We can simply get our tool right in there, open it. Don't let it flop. The trash can will fall over. Ask me how I know. So catch it, let it down nice and gentle so you don't tip the trash can over. We keep a rock in here for some ballast weight as well to prevent that from happening. Now here's why I like this trash can, y'all. That snake from that position can strike up towards me. It can happen, but I'm not going to be down there and give it a kiss. These guys usually have about a 45 angle on their strike. But don't think because I say usually, it means always. If you stick my hand down towards its face, I'm going to have a bad time. Don't do that. Be smart. But it limits what it can do. It limits its strike. They can climb, but this is not the easiest thing to climb. It gives me a lot of safe area. The next thing is I'm going to pick this snake up by hand and hook, okay? We're not going to free handle this, okay? I'll leave that to some other people because watch this. That's why I don't free handle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, just throwing that out there. And that is not meant to be a knock on anybody. If anybody thinks it is, I don't know who's only got 8 fingers or 9 or 7. I'm just saying, the less stuff you do like that, the less likely you are to get bit. Really simple point. So we're going to pick this snake up. We're going to try to get our hook on it. As you can see, it can strike up. It just did. It got to about here, okay? So do know what you're doing. It's not a very happy camper today. And my hope is that this snake will run away from me. I want to show you how this works. Really, dude? There we go. Now see, with him running, it's going to let me really easily, his head's protected, I can grab that tail, or I have a nice hook and tail. I can pick him up like this. We're feeling nice and comfortable. He's actually settling down a little bit. He wants to go back in his cage. He'll find the hole, and he'll go. Just as pretty as you please. Don't come back out. And he'll go. And once he's a little bit farther in there, come on. Then I'll let him go so he can move himself in. Jeff's going to close the cage with the tool. Bang! We're done. Not rocket science. Then the next thing we do, even while we're filming, is we make sure our cage closing mechanism is in place. It's not about locking this thing and all of that. It's about making sure I actually closed it. That's the important part there. It's a little extra thing to make sure you do. Also, so we visually see it is in fact closed and it cannot open. So really important to do something like that in anything you use. These top ones, however, are locked. So guys, that is Reaper. Kurt, any questions?
So you don't have lightning reflexes?
I used to, but then I turned 40 and they all slowed down. Also, I forgot to tell you, like, subscribe. Maybe Kurt will do a little graphic in the beginning. And check out our Patreon. That'd be great, because on Patreon, Kurt is saying that we should do a Patreon video where I let this thing bite me. So if you're signing up for Patreon to see that happen, you're going to want your money back, because I'm not going to do that. But anyway, any other questions?
No.
All right, Jeff, any questions?
So what you're saying is you don't have the speed of a mongoose anymore?
Not anymore, if I ever did. What about Michaela back there? Any questions?
None yet.
None yet. Okay, we're going to move on to the next snake in the next video, which probably will be one just for Patreon, as we're going to work with the rattlesnake That's in shed, which is a little bit more sketchy because they're going to be a little bit more nervous. However, it needs a cleaning. We need to do some work. It's going to have to be done. So we'll show you that on Patreon, and we will see you right over there.